Having a song go viral could be the worst thing to happen to an artist's career. Yeah, you could get millions of streams and downloads instantly and millions of fans, but if you're not ready, it could be the difference between you having a long-term career or just another one-hit wonder. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 must things an artist needs to have in place before they blow up. But before I share these, I want to thank our sponsor, ActiveCampaign, which is the best email system I use for connecting with my fans, telling them about merch, and so I can stay in contact with my fans, as well as automation. Because as they say, the money is in the email list. Click the link below to get a free 7-day trial. You can thank me later. So there's a famous story about Arsenio Hall, who used to co-host this talk show, and he was on the show Apprentice with Donald Trump many years later, now that he doesn't have his talk show. And during the Apprentice, they had to try and raise money, and he started texting and calling all his so-called celebrity friends. Well, none of them were returning his calls. And at the end, he was like one of the only celebs that like barely raised any money, or at least in time. And he said to himself, you know, back in the day when I had my show, everybody returned my calls, and now nobody does. So what Arsenio Hall should have done is he should have been building his email list the whole time, and every time he had a show, maybe they bought his ebook, they bought some program, they could sign up for some type of a program, so he could be building that email list just in case he was ever deplatformed. So that's number 1. Have a way so that you can collect names and email addresses, and you should be constantly putting those offers out there on your social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, where you're like, hey guys, check this song. You can download it right now. Just give me your name and email address, and you can have this song for free. You can have this album early, and constantly be building that email list. So besides having a way to collect people's names and emails before you blow up, you want to make sure you have a catalog. You have a body of work, right? Have other songs that people can listen to check out. Like, so you want to make sure that you have back catalog. One of the biggest mistakes that I made when I first started with my music is we had a hit on radio, and what I didn't have was a follow-up. And so you should always have that follow-up hit song so that you can keep the momentum going. Number 3 is social media. Are you on Twitter? Are you on Facebook? Are you on TikTok? Do all the platforms look the same? Is all your branding the same? If I go and try and find you on all those platforms, will I find you? Will you be there, or are you not there? Because you want to be findable, my friend, which leads me to number 4, which is a website. Do you have the domain? Do you have your manifest.com or whatever it is? Well, you should register it. I'll never forget, I had to pay $2,000 for my manifest.com website for my music. And I remember I did not want to spend that money. And my aunt said to me, she's like, well, how long do you plan on being Manifest? She's like, well, get the .com then. Because I was like, well, I got the .ca, I got the .net, but I knew I needed the .com. And so look, stop looking at these things as expenses and start looking at them as investments. The last and the most important thing you need is merchandise. Do you have a way to make money? Fans can't take an offer you don't make, and you're not going to get rich off of 0.003 cents per stream unless, of course, you have gone viral. But why not sell a bunch of shirts, sweaters, whatever it is? Have some merch, even if it's print on demand, so you don't have to print it and you don't have to ship it. But if I can say anything, guys, make sure you're building that email list. I'm going to show you right now on my screen. I'm going to share it on how easy you can get your pre-saves. When you get someone to pre-save your song, how you can copy and paste those into your email program like ActiveCampaign. Let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to need is an ActiveCampaign account. Click the link below this video or in this podcast so that you can get signed up for a 7-day trial. Just use the basic program to get started, or the basic plan. Then you're going to be logged into your ActiveCampaign account. And you can see here I got about over 70,000 contacts, and I would rather have 70,000 emails than 700,000 followers on Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Email list trumps everything else, okay? So you're going to click on contacts, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to create a list, okay? You're going to click on lists, And the first thing I always tell my students to do is add one that's called friends and family. So I'm going to call this friends and family. And I'm just going to call this test because I'm teaching you guys, right? Test. And you're going to want to copy and paste all the names and emails into your database here. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to put my website. Where did they sign up? Probably on manifest.com or your domain. Remind your contacts why they're on your list. You signed up for free music. Okay, so I just click save. So now I've created a list. Now I got to find that list. So I'm going to type friends, and there's my friends and family test. I'm going to click on import contacts, and I can either do it two different ways. I can do it by a CSV file, and I can just upload it, or I can just copy and paste. Click copy, and I can just paste the contacts right in here, or I can type them in. Right? Just put my personal email in or whatever, just type them in and click next and then import them, right? So that's the first one you want to do, the list you want to do. The next list you want to do is what I call my DistroKid or pre-save list, okay? Because I do a lot of my pre-saves on DistroKid. And so again, I'd create one for all your pre-saves because you guys are always getting those pre-saves, but are you importing the emails? And let me just go to my DistroKid account. Now, inside my DistroKid account, if you remember, I clicked on these dots here and I went down to promote yourself, and I used this tool called Hyperfollow. Now, this is where I get all the pre-saves, right? And I made a whole video showing you how to do that in this video here. Small artists are getting this Spotify cheat code, so go watch that. But literally, this is where I go to get my pre-saves. And if I click on this one right here, and then I copy all these email addresses, copy them, go back to Active Campaign, go to my list, click import contacts, and then copy and paste your contacts. Boom, and then we are done. Click next, and now I've got my new contacts in there.